Squarespace or Framer, if you are going to launch and design a website and you are not a developer, this video is going to answer 3 core questions for you that will help you by the end of this video know for sure which tool is best for you. So as we get into it, you probably did some type of search like you see on my screen. You went to YouTube, typed in Squarespace versus Framer, or Google, or some AI tool that got you to a video like this. I published this 6 months ago. It's done pretty well, and I think there's a lot more people asking this question, but the reality is Squarespace and Framer have changed, and they've changed a lot over the last few months, and I'm going to highlight that. I've built over 300 websites myself. I've built over 250 on Squarespace, over 50 on Framer, plus other tools out there. And so I'm going to cover this right now for you in depth. This video is probably going to be the hottest topic for me in terms of all these comparisons, like for example, Squarespace versus Wix or Webflow or any other tool or any of them that you compare. I think these two are the best for like 99% of businesses out there who are not doing e-commerce as their like main business. These tools will give you everything you need. So we're gonna cover everything. Here are the 3 questions. First and foremost, you'll see on my screen, what are you actually going to get from the website builder? Are you gonna get what you want? And how easy is it to get what you want? Because anyone could code anything on any platform, but is it gonna be really hard to get there or really easy? Second, when you compare apples to apple, all the main things a modern website needs, like SEO, reliability, scale, hosting, all of that stuff, which one is going to do better, and in which cases do they do better? And third, price. When you are talking about a specific use case, the pricing can vary dramatically. And so we're going to talk about that at a high level. I'm going to try to cover everything so you have the clearest action on how to take steps forward in getting and bringing this to life. Yes, so I have promotions with both brands, and you'll get a great deal with both. So check out the links down below. It'll help support this channel. Now let's get into this. We're going to cover 3 tables. The first one is going to be this, which is going to go through all these high-level details that we need to go through. Then we're going to talk about who should use which platform. Then we're going to talk about things that they talk about on their website that they do well, that they don't do well, or they talk about that they do really well, and you just got to know if you're making this decision. All right, so let's cover this. And the best part is they actually both have a page on their website. I'll have all these linked down below so you can compare all this stuff, again, apples to apples. They are going to be super biased on their website, so I'm going to point out where they're super biased in this. But let's get started here. When we talk about all of this, let's start with some key things. Pricing, $16 or $10 a month to get started. This is if you pay yearly, so we do got to take a look at that. But overall, they're kind of comparable there, at least to get started. We'll talk more about price at the end, but we'll get there. When it comes to ease of use, Squarespace is a template. Is straight up is a template. And when it comes to their AI, it's just more templates. So all of it is just a template. When it comes to Framer, you literally do, as it says here, you have a free form canvas. What that means is you have complete control. But if you have complete control, that means you have to actually understand what you're building. It could look cool, but if you don't understand what an H1 is or an H2 or how to tag all that stuff or how to set up a CMS or a blog or how you connect blog posts to authors or categories and doing that the right way, it's not going to be optimized for SEO or anything like that. Yes, you could buy templates in Framer or use some free resources, which there are a ton, but it is important to know that because you have freedom to do anything, it could get overwhelming really, really fast, and it could get really complicated and ugly and lots of different fonts and colors and a lot of other stuff if you don't set things up right to get started the right way. So that's the first note. When it comes to actually the most like beautiful design, Framer is going to win hands down. So because you have so much freedom, you could build anything. I'm going to show you this and we'll take another look at it later. But this was like a blog design that I started designing with my team, like just exploring as a template. And I'm like, this is like, we didn't finish it, but this is beautiful. Like imagine having a site like this where you could customize all of this. Like, and this is a build that we did in just a few hours where if you try to do something like this in Squarespace, it's nearly impossible to have your menu off to the left like this and then have it optimized for mobile the way you want. You don't have that kind of control. What you see in Squarespace is really what you get. You change colors and fonts, and that's basically it. After that, you have to start to custom code it, which you could use AI tools to do, or you could hire a developer, but that gets complicated because now you're trying to do way more. It's kind of the same problem in Framer, but you're just not touching code. So you just gotta kind of be aware that both of them are gonna give you options, but also limitations. And so what I think happens for a lot of people is they get caught up on, I want pixel perfect control because it has to look a certain way, but they don't realize that like most people don't care. Or are you doing it because you want to like impress someone? If you're trying to impress someone with your website, that's like kind of not the point in terms of getting started. So if you're launching something new, it may be worth it, but if you don't have the budget to do it, that might be like a good sign that you just need a website up. I know companies that have used Squarespace that have made tens of millions of dollars through their business, through their website, and their website is on Squarespace. Super basic and simple. It's not complicated, doesn't have these crazy animations. So sometimes we want more. This is kind of like my own little caveat if you are launching your first business or something. As someone who is an entrepreneur and works with entrepreneurs, honestly, design flexibility is a nice to have, but don't let that be the only thing of why you decide on Framer more than Squarespace. Next, animations. If animations do matter, if you're launching a SaaS company and it does matter that your website has animations, you're going to want to go with Framer all the way. They're way better here. Framer, as you can see, wins outright. There's no question about it. They are a million times better. Squarespace animations, in my opinion, are garbage, and they really don't have any options. Like, let me just show you. I think they're going to add some options, but let me just show you the extent of what they do offer. Let me just get... This is just a this is a template I built for this video here that I'm working on. It's still building. So no, let me go back. Sorry. Let me just pull this. This is just another random template. All right. So in the back end here, I'm gonna go to styles. Okay, cool. So I'm inside styles, and then it says miscellaneous. This is like hidden. Like, why is it so hidden? Like, animations are a key part of 2026 websites. So animations. This is what you get. You literally get 6 options for the whole site. They look nice, but the reality is like you can't control it. I'm like, I don't need the text to animate, or the images to animate the same way as the text. Everything ends up animating in a really Squarespace way, and then it just starts to feel all the same. So I know it like looks cool at first, but you don't have any control, and it just does start to feel really overkill when it's like every single element on your website has the same exact animation. That's not how it works. Like, you want to animate certain things so it highlights it or delays certain things so it looks cool. Like, there's a certain flow of how you want the animations to work to really like bring it to life. Let this load and then go boom. Do you see how everything plays together in a unique way? So boom, this loads, that loads. It's all like part of the relationship between all the elements. And how everything works together, it just all comes together in this unique identified flow, experience, and how it loads as the content. So even here, like this text loads a certain way, and it emphasizes it in a certain animation. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say on animations. I could talk about that all day. Squarespace loses, Framer wins, and everything Squarespace is adding is a copy of Framer in my opinion. So we'll leave it at that. All right, SEO and speed and performance. Anytime I do this, I always just go to PageSpeed Insights. It's a Google tool. I don't know how much this matters going into an AI world, but this is how you test speed and performance. PageSpeed Insights, you type in the website. So I always just type in the main website, framer.com or squarespace.com. You can see here, Framer failed Core Web Vitals on mobile and passed on desktop. And the same thing for Squarespace. Failed on mobile, did great on desktop. Now, when you take a look at it, the notes a little bit more, generally this is actually really good. I think the failure is just like this right here. Like, it just needs to go over a little bit, where Squarespace does have more, like this 2.7, this is those two, this, all 4 of these. So I've been on Squarespace for a long time. They said they've done a lot of work on this, but they really haven't. In terms of like, this performance should be better. Like, it should be way better for Squarespace, and the number of websites they have and how important Core Web Vitals are. And they have no conversation on this at all. And it's totally like a huge missed opportunity, in my opinion, of optimizing this more. This is important to Google, and so it needs to be important to the site and the structure of your site. And so in this case, Framer wins on core web vitals. Overall, in terms of like actual user experience, you're not going to tell the difference. Like, the reason this is important is if you are trying to optimize for search engines, for LLMs, to show up in a ton of different spots online, you want the best performance for your website. And in that case, I would recommend Framer. If you're a photographer and you are gonna have tens of thousands, like not tens of thousands, let's say hundreds of photos on your website, you're gonna really want to consider Framer, because I think of just speed in that case is going to do a lot better with more and more content. Now, as we continue, let's talk about a few more things. E-commerce. This is where Squarespace wins. You could sell nearly anything on Squarespace. If we take a look at their pricing page, let's take a look here. You're going to see you could sell digital products, you could sell services, you could sell consultations. You can see when you get into this side of it, you could sell almost anything. You could sell courses. They have so many things. Like, they even restructured their plans, because before they used to have like this was like e-commerce and then e-commerce advanced. But the reality is you could have, like, need this advanced plan, but have no specific like products you sell, like physical products. You might be selling content or memberships. You might be selling like courses. You could do all of that. You could have a course sell in Squarespace. Framer, you cannot do that without third-party tools. And so it gets a little bit insane in terms of just the amount of things you could sell. Now, if you're talking about you do want to just sell products and you're going to do e-commerce at scale, I recommend Shopify. But we're not talking about Shopify, so we're going to leave it at that. So when it comes to anything you want to sell in terms of like e-commerce, you're going to have a much better experience. Maybe in the future, Framer will have like a more native solution. That's what Webflow did, so I imagine they'll do it at one point. I just have no idea when that'll happen. If you're going to want email marketing and you want it built in, if you want it built in, I only recommend that if you really want to use Squarespace's like blogging feature or like products, because you could add it into your email with one click, which is really nice. But it's not the most powerful tool. So if you really are going to want to do email at a high level, you're probably going to want a third-party tool, so that this point kind of becomes mute. But if you do want something simple, they have something built in that you could pay like a few dollars more to get a lot of power. And finally, let's talk about the blogging CMS. These other things are kind of light, but the blogging CMS thing. If you're going to blog, simple blog, both are going to do great. If you want to do something like high-level custom, like a directory, or some type of like customization to your blog, you're going to want to use Framer. This is going to be really important if a CMS is a content management system. So let's take a look here. If we go back let's go to this theory news. Okay, so if we want to do this blog, let's say we also want to have a section of like mini articles. Maybe that could be a good, actually, let's take a look at my personal website. Now, CMS is really powerful. It's beautiful, actually. It's like so cool what you could do with a CMS. So in this case, I have multiple CMSs. I have a CMS for my products, projects, services, articles, feed, stack, course lessons, all this stuff. Let's talk about the stack. This is a highly custom CMS, which gives me a title, type, thumbnail, slug, link, category, and some other stuff here. And then what I can do is I could add in edit fields. I could add in additional fields. So I could click here, and let's say I want a custom gallery, or I want a gallery with every single item in my stack, or a specific date, or additional images, or plain text, or formatted text, or whatever that is, or references, a bunch of stuff. I could do whatever I want and create a CMS, a content management system. So think of a course. That's a content management system. You have a course name, you have a video link, you have a description, you have like a PDF downloadable, you have an author, you have all these different things. That is a course structure where you could create this. So in Squarespace, you can't do any of this. Whatever they give you is all you get. They do give you some core things. You could have your store, obviously, that's a CMS. You could have a blog. You could have a portfolio, which in my opinion is kind of weak, but they do have a quote unquote portfolio option. I might be missing one. Events, you could do events as well. But overall, when it comes down to it, you cannot create anything custom like this. This is where Framer wins. So if you just need a blog or anything I mentioned, Squarespace is going to work great. But if you do need something more custom, let me show you what the stack actually looks like. So I love this feature of my website, but it's, again, I'm like a tech nerd. So here's my tech stack. So daily stack, the tools I use all the time. You can see these are like, I'm able to show it. Like, this is awesome. When it comes to finance, these are the tools I use. So then if you go in, say Loom, and you click on it, you'll get some more info, and then you can click on the website. And then for me, I have my affiliate link like tied to any of the specific products, and then boom, I even added this like top 1% user feature, which is like selected if I actually am like a top 1% user, which is great. Like, that's so fun, so cool that I could do that. Now let's talk about AI support. Yeah, it's great. Support is better with Squarespace. Domains, better with Squarespace. But it doesn't matter. Once you connect your domain, you're good. But you could do a lot more in Squarespace. Collaboration, you could have real-time collaboration with Framer, but I don't know if you really need that at scale for most like starting businesses. All right, one thing we didn't talk about was AI. So let me show you. Squarespace calls this their AI. And I'm not saying Framers is like way better, but to me, this is garbage. This is what I like was almost going to show you earlier, is like my site here. Like, let me just show you how this build goes, because I think it's worth, like, you just saw what that looked like. Let me do another one. So try Blueprint AI. Is it AI because it creates like some content for me? I don't know. But we're going to take a look here. So they give you a list of categories. You just pick one. I'm going to pick travel. I'm telling you, my travel website's going to look exactly like what you just saw. Then you select a few options. I'm just going to, not donations, just do that. Cool. All right. Next. Cool. I don't get it. So this is like brand personality. What do you want? I'm just going to do friendly. Site title, David's Travels. Boom. Cool. All right, next. Now this is where it's saying it's creating AI. But the reality is like, these are just pre-built sections, and they might have put like some cool text there. But this section is the same. If you do any of the, like, if you use any of the categories to get to this point, it is all the same. To me, that's not AI. That's pre-formatted, structured, like focused, like you must do. So they do replace the photos. And I do like that, because you do get, let me add some sections to this page. You'll see that like photos, this is where it gets funny. So some photos are travel, like that's travel. What the heck is this? These are like services. So I don't get why they call it AI. Like, what the heck is this? This is like nothing to me. I don't get it. So feature, I don't need a product section truly. So this is cool, but it really is not AI in my opinion. Now, and then you can keep building from here. So you can see like it's building out a site for me, but generally your site will look exactly like, you do this 5 times, you're gonna get the same exact site. When it comes to like Framer and like Framer's AI, they have options sections for you, but they'll just basically design the layout for you. I don't think either of these tools like skyrocket in AI. I think they're both pretty similar, but I think Squarespace fronts like it's better, but it's not. I think Framers is okay, and it's okay. That's it. I think they say it's okay, and it is okay. Framer does have like an AI option to create like a component. They call it Workshop, but that's like more of a custom tool than anything else. But even here, can I just say something? I am on the Framer website. I'm logged into my account. Do you see how it says David? That's like a cool like feature of what they do. Like if you were logged in, it'd say your name there. And then here, even it shows like my actual logo, like that's part of my brand on this, which is cool. That's where Framer is like, that's like a really modern, like cool feel that they brought together on the website. So any page I go to on their like current website, if they have features like that, they really like bring it to life. So again, my little logo is showing up here, which is just so cool. Like I love that they do that. All right. We have covered a lot of ground. So who should use what? If you're a complete beginner, Squarespace. If you want full creative freedom, Framer. If you're going to sell products and services, Squarespace. If you want a portfolio site to show your work, honestly, either. If you want more control back to this point, it's going to be Framer. Agency who builds sites for their clients, you're going to make way more money with Framer, and you're going to be able to do whatever you want and have sites that you're super proud of. Squarespace too, but anyway, you need email marketing, Squarespace. You need speed and performance, Framer. You want everything in one place, Squarespace. These are all the things that I would really, really highlight. Now, let's talk about what they don't tell you. That was really quick, but let me tell you what they don't tell you. So Squarespace, Framer says Squarespace has a very rigid template. That is true, but it is also like truly flexible as well. So if you just need a site and you need like everything to look a certain way or whatever, build out your site, you're going to be able to do it. It is more, the key here, it is more structured than Framer, but it's not terribly structured. It's not like, dude, the site looks like it's from 1992. It's going to look a lot better. AI, I already told you about this. Squarespace claims on AI, but it's garbage. Framer, no code animations, this is true, and they're great, and they're the best. They're honestly the best on the internet. Like, let me just show you Framer University. Let's look at resources. Like, let's just check out some of these animations. Like, this is a great one. But let's see this one. Let's just preview this. So this is a ticker scroll. So as I scroll, look at that. Look at that. Like, what the heck is that, bro? Like, as I scroll, it's beautiful. So nice. And this is like, these are free components that you can like go to this website and use. Like, check this out. This one's like such a cool one. So this is like a pull from the Apple website, but as you scroll, it's like boom, boom, and it becomes your TV, da da da. It's like, whoa, dude, what the heck is that? That's awesome. They have some really cool ones, and these are all free. So you can just come in here, and then this little copy and paste. You just grab it and you could use it. Like, some of this stuff, I'm like, I don't know what you use this for. This is like a cool design component. Like the light, it lights up the text. That's awesome. But all right, so let me just copy this one. I think this is a great one. It's not copying. I don't know if they copy. There we go. Go here, paste it, 3D carousel, boom, look at this. And then you could easily replace the images, but what the heck is that? That's beautiful. Like, what? Like, out the gate, like, this is beautiful. You could add this to your website. It is amazing. All right, so Squarespace built-in e-commerce, it's great. Huge advantage over Framer. Is it the best in the industry? No, but it is definitely way better than, if you're gonna sell something, you're gonna have a headache in Framer. Especially if it's not a digital product. Digital product, you could use like Gumroad as a third party or something else, but yeah, that's gonna get crazy. Framer, transparent pricing, no hidden fees. True, but I don't know. Let's talk about that for a second. Okay, and then Framer, Squarespace lacks advanced SEO. This is debatable. Framer said that Squarespace lacks advanced SEO. That's super debatable. But let's talk about pricing really quick. This is the thing I hate about Framer, and I've talked to their team about it. Like, literally just this week, I talked to them about it. Their pricing is okay, but when you go annual, you'll see it jumps pretty high right here, $30 to $45. So it's like they really want you to pay yearly for this. And honestly, like, the jump here is as high. What really kills me is editors. They charge you for all editors, and Squarespace is unlimited editors. So whatever plan you pay for with Squarespace, you get as many editors as you want. Where here, they're trying to charge you per editor, per seat, per month, even if you do nothing on the site. Like, I wish it was more usage-based. Like, if somebody uses a certain amount, they'll get charged more. But if you don't use it, like, just charging me $40 to have someone on the site for 12 months out of the year that they might use it 4 months out of the year, or once a month out of the year, once a month every month out of the year, 12 times, that's insane. That's just like, it's stealing. I think in this modern day of like stuff like that, it really is stealing, especially here because we're already paying a subscription. So this is on top of it. This is like when they ask for a tip for the coffee they just made you that you took to go, or like the restaurant meal that you took to go that you did no service with or none of that. I think that's just, you're taking extra, bro. That's your job. That's just your job. You're already getting paid for your job. I obviously have a lot of opinions, but I think that's everything. I think as I'm going through this, it's a pretty long video, but as I'm going through this is like everything. This is everything I would cover in terms of like the core things, and just bottom line, Squarespace is the better all-in-one solution. If you want an all-in-one solution, if you want a more aesthetic design choice, you're gonna go with Framer. You're gonna get a better animation, better site, faster, all that stuff. but you will need to consider plugins if you try to do anything additional beyond that on your site. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, drop them below. And if you got value from this, please use the links down below because they do help support the channel. Thanks. Peace.